What's up, guys? Today, I haven't gone live in a while. Kind of something I did back in the beginning. Really haven't done it recently, but it's kind of a long time coming for this video. Not going to do necessarily an install video, but I'm going to do a video on the horn kit from Hornblasters. Now, this kit that we're going to be talking about today is for the JKU. It is also for JKUs, 4 doors, Wranglers that are at least 2.5 inches or more. The reason why is just being some of the fitment. This kit, when you use their brackets, their tank, their compressor, everything fits underneath the vehicle. So as you guys know, if you've ever been under your Jeep, you don't have much room under there to work with. So this is the kit that will work underneath without really, I think you got to drill like 5 holes. Other than that, everything bolts up. So this kit is going to have 2 horns. So you can see here, if you're familiar with some of their other kits, they've got kits that have 4 horns, 6 horns. They've got a variety of different horns to be used. But these are the 2 that we're going to be using today. One's just a little bit bigger than the other. They're actually going to sit like this on the bracket, as well as they are going to angle down a little bit so that this guy right here doesn't scoop up a bunch of water and mud when you're wheeling outside. So this is a 2 horn kit. And like I said, the biggest thing with this kit is it comes with brackets that fit with the JKU. So here's one of the brackets here. This is actually how the horns get mounted to it. So one's going to go something like this, and the other one's going to go something like that. And then this actually slides into the 2 bolts that are in your evap canister. So you just kind of loosen those up, slide this guy in. You're gonna drill a hole right here through a cross member that goes over the Jeep. You can reach the nut on the back side, and bam, that's all it takes to secure your horns. Now you do have to build this first. You do have to put the horns on it. You do have to put the air lines connecting to it already on there. So there's a few things we're gonna put together. And you can see some pictures online of it already pre-done. If you go to their website, hornblasters.com, it will show you basically everything kind of mocked up. But yeah, that's it for the kit. As far as the horns go, we are running the Wrangler compressor here. That's who Hornblasters is teamed up with, so everything is Wrangler. This is the 380C dual pack compressor. Now, this compressor here, a lot of people wonder about it being underneath. Is it waterproof? How well does it work? We actually had the pleasure of working with the guys and girls over at Hornblasters, and we actually designed these in-house here at the Jeep Lab. Not taking credit for any horns, compressors, hardware, tanks. I had nothing to do with that. Basically, we got together with them, laid out a bunch of different options. We tacked up some things, used some CAD, cardboard aided design at first. Once we got it all mocked up, then I went ahead and did some metal work, tack welded some things in place, installed it, it worked, and we sent it off to the guys who mass produce everything for them here in the United States. So that's where all the brackets got made, added their little Hornblasters logo. So the other bracket here is going to be for your compressor. The small 4 holes actually are what hold the compressor onto here. Then your 3 large holes actually thread into the back of your transfer case. So if you've been out wheeling and stuff like that, before you try to install this, get in there and clean all those open threads. They give you the hardware you need. Boom, that bolts. This little guy right here is to help because the exhaust is within a couple inches. So that just kind of gives a little bit of protection from the heat. But once this guy, if he goes like that, is on there, that sits up on the back of your transfer case. So if you switched out transfer cases on your JKU for whatever reason, this kit's not gonna work for you. Other than that, you do get a little pressure gauge on there so you can check, see if it's holding air, see how much PSI. And then you do get, I believe this is a 2.5 gallon tank, something like that, that already has, this is the nice part, we didn't do this in the beginning, already has nutserts in the bottom so that when you put this underneath the cab behind the rear axle in that dead space, you're gonna drill the holes and then you're just gonna put the bolts down. This is probably the toughest part. You're gonna need a second person when you go to do this install. Just someone to hold it so that you can bolt it from the top. Other than that, everything else is pretty much easily done by yourself. So, but these guys are gonna give you all the hoses that you need. The hose is going to the, from the horns to the relay setup, to the compressor, tank to compressor, yada, yada, yada. What I do recommend doing as soon as you open this box and verify you have everything is go ahead and undo these guys, because they're a little stiff and you need them to be flexible. And what I actually do is I'll hang them outside in the sun. Of course, it's December in Florida, so we still have a little bit of sun. Right now we're going through a rainstorm, but I will hang these guys out, kind of stretch them out so they're not as difficult to work with once the time comes for me to use them. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. Just unhook everything and I'll go hang them outside and let them do that. But that's just a quick little tip to do when you start this kit. Like I said, do it sooner rather than later. So this is gonna be actually the first thing. All I've really done right now is unbox the kit. But the kit, I believe, has been out for a couple years. I wanna say Jeep Beach before COVID is the first actual prototype that we have on our JKU here. So that was kind of the first kit. And just so you know, I have not touched that kit since it's been installed. Haven't had to do anything except for drain the tank. Don't forget to drain your tank, guys. Obviously, we're in Florida. Wherever you're at, moisture builds up. This guy hangs here. You can drain this tank full of water. Other than that, I haven't had to mess with the horns. I haven't had to mess with the wiring. I haven't had to replace the compressor. It just works. These guys have been doing it for a long time, so shout out to them for doing that. But that's really the kit, guys. The only other thing to really think about when you're installing this kit or choosing this kit is how do you want it to be operated? That's one of the questions I have to ask customers is, they give you a toggle switch here. So basically you can toggle it to where it's on. And then when you hit your factory horn, it sends the train horn or the air horn. This isn't really, I guess, technically a train horn because it's only got 2 horns. But when you want to use the air horn, you can tie it into your factory horn. So the on switch activates the train horn, the off keeps the regular horn. Some people have aux switches, so they want to just go ahead and wire it into the aux switches so where they can turn the aux switch on, then use a train horn. Or you can opt also when you're talking to the guys to just get a button, and that button will simply be a standalone button for the train horn. So burn, hold it down, the horn works. So think about that before you buy the kit. If you're not installing it yourself, you're gonna need the shop to let them know how you want your horns to be activated. Other than that, I think the only other really thing to add to this kit is they sell a tire air accessory inflation kit. Basically, you can get a, let me grab here. For I think what's like 101 bucks, you can actually add a tire inflation kit that comes from Viair. Also your extension hose, turn that the other way. Comes in a little bag, so this is big. I say more for the Jeepers, those who actually do wheel, so they can put air in their tires. If you guys are into the overland and stuff, you want the train horn, that's one way to get air on board. But that, guys, is something to just keep in mind. If you want to add that on, do it while you're getting it installed for 100 bucks more. It's not really much more work on the shop side of things to do. But we're going to get installing this kit, guys. I'm going to go ahead and get everything out. But I mean, this kit comes with everything. Comes with all the fittings you need. Comes with the filters for the compressor. Comes with the fuses, the relays, all the connections, all the fuses you need. Couple extra fuses, I believe. All the wires you're gonna need. They even give you in here the thread tape that you're gonna be needing, and as well as some Loctite to do on those bolts. Make sure you use Loctite. Here's our little guy that's gonna activate our horns. So, yeah, here's all our hardware for the tank. There's our thread locker. There's our pipe tape. So, oh, forgot one more of these guys to unwind. But if you guys ever have any questions you're installing these, feel free to look up the shop, give me a call. I'll be more than happy to help you guys out on it. I know Hornblasters does have a pretty good technical support. And honestly, not gonna lie, I've had tech support from Hornblasters call me for me to ask a question. So skip that, just call me, guys, or shoot us a message on Facebook, Instagram, call the shop. I'll be more than happy to help you guys. The biggest thing, guys, is making sure you have a lift for this kit. The horns will go, the compressors will go. The lift kit comes more into place with the tank itself. Now, if you want to put the tank inside, you can put this on a bone stock Jeep. And I will also add that these horns, once they're mounted and they're angled down, they do stay above the skid plate. So if the skid plate is here, the horns sit above it. No, there's not a skid plate directly underneath them to protect them from getting hit. However, they are up out of the way. They do not hang down low to potentially easily get hung up on something. Well, guys, that was 10.5 minutes of talking about the Hornblasters Rango kit for the JKU. Mind you, they do have a JLU kit. That is only for the V6 model. And keep that in mind, guys, because the diesel is different, the 2.0 is different. The V6 e-torque is different. This will not work. Their JL kit will not work with the e-torque V6. So that's kind of the downside. Doesn't mean you can't have a train horn or an air horn on your Jeep. Just means the bolt-on kit will not work for your application. The Gladiator, I've done a couple of the spare tire delete kits for the Gladiator, so that's something cool to think about for all the new Gladiator owners out there. I'm looking forward to getting the Gladiator. I know I'm going to be putting a Rango kit on the back of it for sure, so we'll probably make a video about that. But that's the Rango kit, guys. I got 2 of these things to install today. For those of you who don't know, Hornblasters is actually right around the corner from the shop, which is kind of cool to have a big company like that here local. Also helps if I ever run into any issues, I can run over there and grab new hardware, ask a question. But thanks again to the guys and girls at Hornblasters for, helping us basically come out with this kit. I know a lot of the Jeep owners that already have it are happy with it. We love ours. I've done a ton of these things and I don't foresee that ever slowing down. So again, Hornblasters Rango kit. Don't forget, as usual, guys, like, subscribe. Thank you for all the support. Jeep Lab is about to hit our 4-year anniversary. So super thankful for that this holiday, that we're staying blessed and staying busy and able to help out the community. So again, if you got any questions about the kit, feel free to reach out to us. Until next time, guys, we'll see you later.